What's up, everybody? It's Coach Clark here again. Got another hot topic, something I posted on Facebook earlier today. Um, it was just a simple question of, well, I guess not so simple, of would you be upset as a parent? Would you be upset if a coach, a teacher, or administrator, or any adult that's not, the mother or the father was to supply your middle school or high school athlete or child with condoms or any kind of contraceptives? Would you be upset? Well, before we start, gotta hit y'all with this joke. Hey Siri, tell me a joke.
I've got a pen that can write underwater. It can write other words too.
What? Anyways, so I got some really good replies, and I know it's just a blanket question, and there's all kinds of what ifs and these kind of situations. And the number one situation was for high school or middle school kids. And if you know anything about, I know people say, oh, middle school, that's too young. You hadn't been around middle school as of late, and as of late, and I mean within the last 10, 15, 20 years, so and as always, the way I approach something is, I approach the subject through knowledge and education. You know what I'm saying? So if you really understand the situation, then I think that'll help you prevent certain things. So with that being said, my thought process behind that was, if we get kids comfortable with talking about it and understanding the situation, understanding how to protect themselves, then number one, you can help prevent teenage pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, hopefully abortions, and STDs, and just overall being put in a situation where we don't want our young people to be put in. Moving right along to some of the comments and whatnot we had. There were some people that said, nope, I do not want that. I would be very upset. And if my child has a question or they want something, they can come to me. I will tell you, I would love to live in the world that those people live in. Because it seems like it's a very beautiful place where the sun always shines, and every time you go to the store, they got your item. Your gas tank is never on E. And then you had others that was, like, hey, as long as they're in this grade or that grade, or, there was always a stipulation to it. Like, hey, mate, yeah, I'm okay with it. But as long as, that adult told me about it after. And here's my caveat to that, okay? Sometimes our kids, they, first of all, they're at school for 10 hours, especially if you have an athlete. You have an athlete, they're up there at the school, 8 to, 10, 11 hours a day. They're definitely there with those people in person a lot longer than they are with you at home at that point in time in their life. And that's not taking away anything from you as a parent, because your position is there, is solid, and there's nothing that anybody can do to take that away from you. But our kids are people too, and people build bonds. They build relationships with people. They begin to trust people. And actually, that's what we should want in our education system, is that our kids are building these relationships. Number one, they're learning how to deal with certain situations, but also they're around people that they can trust. They're around good people, people that they can rely on. And what tends to happen is our kids will open up to, and it's not every teacher. They're not running around just, giving all this crazy trust to every teacher, but it may be one person at their school, one teacher at their school, one adult in their life where they feel like they can honestly tell them something, not be judged, not be punished, and they can get a legit adult answer. A lot of times, if the teacher or if that adult tells us something, what tends to happen is we're gonna address it with our with our child, because that's my child. I'm not going to let something go unsaid, especially something as serious as having sex, at an early age, or just having sex in general. You don't want to let that kind of stuff just go unsaid. So you're going to address it. And then, of course, bingo, in the back of their head, they're sitting there thinking, hey, Miss Johnson told. Then they're going to go to school and tell Miss Johnson, yeah, thanks a lot. I'll never tell you anything ever again. And then guess what? You and Miss Johnson are on the outside now. At least when you had Miss Johnson on the inside, you knew you had somebody you could trust. You had an adult, somebody that's been through that, and apparently because they're advising them to use contraceptive, somebody that's telling them to do the right things. Of course, yeah, we want to abstain, but let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna abstain, then let's do it the right way. Let's protect ourselves. Let's just leave it at that. There are really no wrong answers in this. All right, I'm just kind of I just wanted to touch on it. As a coach, I've been a coach for 15 years now. I'm around kids from 3 years old all the way to 18 years old. So I see it all. I see the growth. You see them going from cute to that weird middle school age to now they're starting to look like adults when they're 17, 18 years old. I definitely enjoy the process of working with the kids, but also I'm listening to them. You listen to them, and when they're talking amongst their friends, number one, and it's the same thing I said when I was they said, "Oh, parents don't know. My parents don't know what they're talking about. My parents don't understand. As if, guess what? I can't be 40 if I wasn't 14 first, but they don't get that, and as much as we jump up and down and preach and teach our kids and love on our kids, they won't get it until they are 40 and they have a 14-year-old, or whatnot, whatever the age is. But so with that being said, it takes a village. Don't be so apprehensive to somebody else helping out, or trying to help you out, and try to understand where that person came from. What was their thought process? It shouldn't be just a bucket at the lunch line. Everybody just walk through and blindly grab, contraceptive. Although, if it was like that, I wouldn't be upset. That's just gonna charge me as an adult that, hey, okay, I got to get in front of this situation. A lot of times as parents, we always want to control what our kids are going to see or understand or whatnot. Man, our kids, especially nowadays with these phones and technology and stuff, our kids have seen, heard, and talk about everything. So if you think that oh, I'm waiting for this time or I'm waiting for that time or whatnot, you're behind, especially if they're in middle school and high school. You're way behind. And I'll say this, I say that to say this. There's nothing wrong with being behind, There's no book on this. There's nobody, well, there are books on it, actually. But there's no 100% correct book on it. There's no, hey, you got to do it like this, you got to do it like that. There's some definitely wrong ways, but there's no, hey, this is the right way to do it. Everybody's household is different and whatnot. But I do encourage using the village. Your football coach isn't just a football coach. He's a man, and that man come with life experiences. The music teacher, she isn't just a music teacher. That's a woman. She came with life experiences. And all of these different individuals throughout your child's life, they all come with life experiences, and they all can input on your child if you allow them to, and of course if your child is welcome to it, and that'll help you as a parent. If there's something that Miss Johnson is telling telling your kid, and this is off from what you teach in your house, well then you come back and correct that. You come back and now see she was right when she said this, but all this other stuff, nah, we don't do that over here. But that's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to talk to y'all about that. Please drop a comment, like and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think about this topic. Would you be upset if your kid, or if you're in your kid's room, you find condoms, and you don't know, you didn't think that personally, hey, this child should be at that age, and then they tell you, oh well, no, mom, I'm not having sex yet, but such and such person gave it to me, and it's and they explain the situation. How would you feel about it? Let me know down there. Deuces.